This is Just AMZN on Thursday, January 28th, 2021. I've got the 5-minute showing where the triangle was, and I drew a line from the apex out over to the right here into today. And then I've got just same thing on the put from what we drew in yesterday on the 3200 put. And I've got the 3350 call that I'm looking at. So I drew in this little line here with this gap down. So I'm going to zoom in on today and show where that gap was. And that is right here to here. And this is one of these things that I'd love to see on a 5-minute where we have a nice clean gap. The open and the high were the same. And so really this was, let me zoom into this a little more. Actually, I'm gonna make it bigger. So I love seeing this kind of a gap on the 5-minute just because it usually works really well. Today it did not because it pushed down a little bit to here, and then we just rallied out of there. But I was looking for this to roll over from the apex level, put a really nice stair step, and then had the bearish retest gap down, high wave candle, continuing to stair step here, and another inside candle, and then a retest here, just like this upper wick of this gap. And I was getting bearish right here and was up nicely, and then was out. It went up a little more than 2R from what my setup was. I'll show that in a sec here. And then I was out for a loss and lost an R. And then it ran way up here and somehow ran right into this yellow line, which is the downtrend of the triangle that I've had drawn on here. We were into that level yesterday. We somehow got back up higher than I expected us to for this. I thought this triangle was going to hold. It was so strong, had this gap, didn't work. Pushed up a little bit higher into this line, and then had something similar happen where we just did a nice stair step and did not continue higher, which a stair step is a continuation pattern. This one rolled over, did like a double top here, and then just completely sunk and came right down into our lower edge of this resistance zone and actually got to close below it, just like yesterday. So on the daily, it ran way up and then came almost all the way back down. Ending somehow bullish, but really near the same close as yesterday. So over onto the put. So again, here's this level that I thought on the put, we should be able to get back to this level, similar to how we got close to that on the stock. So I was into this 6x5. I was buying in here in these lows, looking for this to get back up to 10 for a nice 4-hour gain. And I got stopped out over here at 5. Stop was at 5 and it filled at 501. So a little tiny bit less than an R loss. And then watching this go all the way down here sideways, putting in some lows down here and somehow getting almost up to that $10 price that I wanted in the first place. But if I had bought in down here, like 3x2 or 4x3, would have been looking up to 8R. I'm sorry, up to 8 as the target for a 4-hour gain, and that would have worked great. Really nice thing about that, which I didn't play later in the day, but if I had, the one nice thing that it did later in the day that it didn't do here is it retested the 21 from below and held it. And this price, so this area here was a nice rest. You could have still been getting into this put right around the $3 price, $3.50, anywhere in here. And it then started to roll over or continue rolling over and moving down. So this would have been a really nice setup. I'm zoomed way out on this, that's why. So there we go, I have a cursors lining up. So getting into this like 3.50 in this whole range when it's already below the 21. I guess here it kind of stayed above it. It broke it and it clearly was starting to move and had a really nice breakdown, really nice retest on this candle. I was getting in on this candle on the put. So it was at this time of the day. And then it rolled over really nicely, did not recover, but somehow enough of this kind of a bullish move on the call and this amount of a bullish move on the stock made the put just lose all the rest of its value. Like that was the end of that put until it made it up to this high. So anyway, I picked wrong. It put in a really nice double bottom then here, ran up from this. So you could have been buying the double bottom, getting in at like 7 for a 4-hour gain would have been 11, and that would have worked. So bullish from here would have worked. Bearish from over here would have worked. And I got in too early. I still really like the setup. It just didn't work. And so I'll give it a try again tomorrow. Hopefully we get a nice move on a Friday. And I don't really know which way it's going to go from here. I'm still thinking bearish. I think we're a little bit lower now here. I thought there was some chance in here to buy the dip. It just continued to dip. And right now, getting a close below below this resistance zone seems like it has a little more to pull back. But if we get another nice inside day, next week should be really nice, and maybe we'll get some more pressure to push higher. So I was saying by the dip, could have definitely bought the dip off of 21. I haven't checked to see where the long-term moving averages are, but they're probably close. We've been going sideways for a while. So, but I wouldn't mind if we got back either down further within the same triangle, but we're clearly headed towards this apex from the last few times we've hit this triangle and still somehow holding up. And I really don't know how this is holding up. But I was on here, drew a double top. We really did get a little bit more of a retest back up to this line and on the closes, it looks like, and then this line on the highs, and then start to roll. So we'll see if this turns into a flag and we roll back down a little bit more, or if we somehow get back into this zone, which now we've been in this zone for multiple days, and we'll see if it just becomes an accumulation and then we just continue out of it, or if it's a distribution and we roll back down. So we'll see what happens. Hope this helps. This is Justin AMZN. Thanks.